we're not broken. It's not broken that we can't dream. We just have to dream differently than when we did when we were a kid. And if you can dream like you could when you were a kid, then God bless you. That's amazing. But I have had, I'm sure you have had, so many experiences in life where it's like that's not how it works. That's silly to be able to dream that way, right? And we have to almost tell our mind or our ego, like, "Hey, chill out. We're gonna be okay." Hi, I'm Adam Landrum, and thanks again for joining me for another episode of Made to Matter, where we are helping men in their second half live a life of purpose and fulfillment. And in order to get to purpose and fulfillment, we got to be able to dream a little bit, right? And here's an interesting phenomenon that we experience. You know, as kids, I don't know about you, but I was able to dream endlessly. I can't tell you the number of gunfights I had and last second, winning shots I had in basketball and all the things. I mean, I was just dreaming and imagining all the time. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed, gosh, you know what? I just don't dream as much. So what is up with that? So I just want to take a couple minutes and sort of explore that and explore the idea of how can we start dreaming again? Because when we dream, we create a reality or a potential reality that in our now moment we couldn't even imagine. But then we imagine it and go, oh my gosh, okay, yes, I could get there if I do this, and then I do this. I like that reality better than my current reality. That's what dreaming is, right? That's when I hit the last second shot. I was the hero. I won the game. I I was dreaming a different reality. So you know, so when it comes to dreaming as an adult, especially an adult midlife and beyond, we start looking at this idea of like, well, you know what, we used to dream all the time, and some of those dreams didn't come true. Some of those, they didn't play out as we thought. We might have had a picture of what marriage was going to look like, or what our job and success, or what money was going to look like, and it just didn't end up that way. And that can get pretty discouraging, understandably so, and it can also feel like failure, whether it was or not. It can just feel like it, and somewhat get conditioned over time. It's not worth dreaming. It actually, like, it feels worse. So I'm just gonna cut it off and not dream anymore. And we also go about dreaming, I think, a little bit wrong, if you will, and we get more sophisticated as we get older. When we dreamt when we were little, we had like no constraints. We could just dream. But as we're older, we have all these lessons and learnings and reality, which create all these rules, and these rules for us restrict us from dreaming. We weren't burdened when we were young with that type of stuff. We just let loose. We let our dreams and our mind imagine whatever it is we could. So how do we rewire that? How do we change that um, when we're older now and we have these experiences? Well, one thing that we do is that that we look for our dreams to be crystal clear. Like, right, again, I've talked about this in past podcasts, but we look at this idea that, you know what, everybody wants clarity. Like, I want this clarity. So I want to be able to dream this dream with absolute clarity. And when I do, I also want to know how I can accomplish that dream with minimal or no risk. And that's not what dreaming is about. Dreaming isn't clarity. Dreaming is this big idea that, like, it might have 1,000 different threads of where it could go, and it's just like, it's a cool thing where I could, almost like a playground, I could go play and dream and float through this thing. Like, that's a dream. It's surreal, it's imaginary, it's not based in reality. That's the whole point. Because when it's that point, it then forces us to do different things, right? Because if we're if we keep doing what we always always have been doing, well, then that's the definition of insanity, right? If we're going to have a different outcome, or the other saying is, what got you here isn't going to get you there. That's exactly what dreaming does. It like short circuits all that intentionally so that we can show up differently to achieve the dream that isn't perfectly clear, and that is okay. That is what we want. Or that's what, I say that's what we want. That is what we should want, because that's how we're going to actually accomplish, quote unquote, accomplish that dream. So how do we do that? So we gotta keep ourselves from not wanting perfect clarity in our dreams, in our vision, whatever that may be, and instead accept this general idea, this general direction of where I want to go, and be like, yeah, that would be beautiful if I could have whatever that is. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. So what do? We get curious. We get curious, and we dream a dream, and we go, you know what? I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to accomplish that, but I do know for me to accomplish that, I got to take a step, right? I got to take my next step and see where that takes me. And once I take that step, I'm a step towards that dream. And then I go, you know what? Great. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I don't know exactly how to get there still, but I'm closer, and I'm going to take yet another step. And we get curious and we step, and we get curious and we step. So we're not broken. It's not broken that we can't dream. We just have to dream differently than when we did when we were a kid. And if you can dream like you could when you were a kid, then God bless you. That's amazing. But I have had, and I'm sure you have had, so many experiences in life where it's like, that's not how it works. That's silly to be able to dream that way, right? And we have to almost tell our mind or our ego, like, hey, chill out. We're going to be okay. Just could you step to the side for a second and let me imagine, let my imagination run loose so that I can dream again. We're just going to curb our expectations that it has to be with perfect clarity and zero risk, because that's not what dreams are. Dreams are, I don't know about you, but my dreams are funky, right? When I dream at night, my dreams are funky. I don't know how I do things or don't do things, or why things happen, or things that appear in my dreams are weird. That's what dreams should be. They should be a little weird and surreal, so that it gets us to act differently, to behave differently, to take different actions, so we can be in a position to reach that dream. So when we look at the second half, and I'm trying to reimagine, after 20 plus years of being an entrepreneur and growing my business and going, well, okay, what's going to be different? How do I want to dream? And I want it to look like, I'm going to work about 20 to 25 hours a week. I'm going to have a handful of clients, and I'm going to make purpose accessible to the world, which that's a pretty crazy dream, right? And go, I have no idea how to do that, but I'm going to try this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to try that, and I'm just going to get curious. I'm going to get curious. I'm going to see what happens, and I'm going to even let my dream change and my dream morph over time. Like, that's okay. So that's just a little of an insight of how I look at it. But what I do think is missing is our ability to dream and to allow ourselves to dream. And because I think we feel responsible, and we feel like, that because of reality, that's silly. That's just a wasted time. When we're actually scared of failure, we do want more. We do want something completely different, but we won't let our minds go there, because it would mean failure. That if we don't do it, the ego will latch on to a dream and a vision, not knowing if it's real or not. And then so that gives you that dissonance of going, hey, remember that dream we had, and we never accomplished it? Like, you're a loser now. that's sort of what it's like. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Um, we can tell the ego to chill out, and we can go and pursue that dream and live a life that we could have never have imagined before because we never allowed ourselves to imagine. And as I talk, I feel like I was all over the place on this topic, and I'm going to leave it like that because here's why. That's sort of what a dream is like, and that's sort of what chasing a dream is like. It's you're meandering, you're bouncing all these ideas off of, and what you do is you arrive to this point, and the point is this: you should dream again. You should let yourself dream again and get curious and just go step by step. Otherwise, you're going to live in Groundhog Day. You're going to live the exact same day over and over and over again if you don't allow yourself to dream. Thank you for joining me this week on the podcast. Again, I'm Adam Landrum with Made to Matter. You can find out more information at madetomatter.coach, where we have workshops. I offer coaching around purpose, around vision, around dreaming. And I look forward to catch you next week, if not before. Take care.